Before you go and spend thousands of dollars remodeling your kitchen in your older home, you're going to want to listen up today. We're here in a project of mine, and I'm going to cover some of the mistakes I see out there, some of the mistakes I've made, and just some of the things we use in our projects. As some of you have made comments, you'd like to see one of my projects while we're working on it, so that's what we're doing today. Anyway, let's get right to it. So the first thing we're going to cover is the kitchen sink. And on my projects through the years, I've used different types of sinks. You have the 60-40 sink, you have the 50-50 sink, you have your farm sink. And give me some comments on the one that you prefer. This one, we're going to go with an undermount full sink or farm sink. Some of the farm sinks I like to use with the apron on the front, but this cabinet doesn't allow it. That's why we're going to do this the way that we are. Now, the 60-40 sinks, in my opinion, and my clients' opinions from showing homes, they just don't seem to be very functional. As you can use the one side, it has a lot of room, clean some pans and that, but the smaller side isn't very functional. So if you're looking for a split like that, I'd recommend the 50-50 at the least for you. Also, the farm sink, the complaint with them is that it's just a sink with no separation, and it's hard to wash pans and things like that. As some people say we have this guy right here, the dishwasher, to handle it all, so some people don't even care. But anyway, we're going to use the farm sink in this project. And the next thing we're going to cover after the sink is the faucet. And that's something that you don't want to get too cheap on. A lot of people, when they go into the homes, that faucet is actually a focal point for people. So you're going to want to get something that's nice. For a few $100, you can get a nice faucet. And I understand everybody has their budget. I'll admit I've bought faucets on Amazon to try to save some money on some projects. I even did it in my own house, and the faucet just came apart later. So just a little word of caution on that. Sometimes you do get what you pay for, and I would recommend to you to step up and get a nicer faucet. And the one thing I want to cover with the faucets, the big thing are those motion sensor faucets. And to me, I still think they're a work in progress. You can give me your comments if you have a different opinion on this. Sometimes the sensors don't work. I mean, how annoyed are we when you go out to a public area, you go to wash your hands and it doesn't come on? That's the same thing with those faucets. The other thing is that they'll just come on by themselves, and that's kind of scary. Imagine being gone and it comes on and the drain stop or something covers the drain, and next thing you know, your whole home's flooded. So you want to really research those faucets if you're going to get them. And another thing to note, at least out here in the Denver area, all the older homes, the water pressure seems to be a little less than in the newer areas, and it fluctuates, it really does. But it seems to have an impact on those motion faucets. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking of getting one of those. And if you have one, you like it, I'd like to hear about it. I'm not saying don't do it and it's bad. I'm only giving you my opinion and what I hear from others. Now, another thing that I see in many homes and from opinions from my buyers and so forth is the backsplash. Now, that is another focal point that you will walk into. And there's so many options out there nowadays. You can get shiny object syndrome going and looking at all of these things. And I would say stay away from the natural stone. I think it looks nice and everything, but my opinion and opinion from others is that it just is porous. It's hard to keep clean. Again, it's just a high maintenance backsplash, but it looks nice. And if you have it, I'm sure it's great in your kitchen. Please don't take offense to this. That's your home, but I'm just giving you opinions of others. The other thing that looks nice are those glass tiles, and those tend to be hard to keep clean as well. I think they look nice, and there's so many great selections on those. But again, it's a matter of the maintenance for a lot of people. So if you're doing this, especially to live in the house, you may want to think of something different. My recommendation, I use this in a lot of my projects too, is just the subway tiles. And I know I'm going to get backlash on this, but it's just a timeless, clean look, and it just never goes out of style. It looks good. And if you get larger tiles, you have less grout lines, and you don't even have to do subway tiles. You can go buy other tiles, some larger tiles, and put up there and minimize your grout lines for cleanliness. And the other thing I see people use is the same stone on the backsplash as the countertop. and it's just one big solid piece. And that's a great option. That's easy to keep clean. There's not a lot of nooks and crannies on it. And like I said, that looks very nice as well. So I would recommend that as a backsplash too, if that's something that you're looking for. Now, the next thing I want to cover, this is a big thing right now, is the layout of the kitchen. And this kitchen, as with many older homes, is a galley kitchen. We've since expanded it, opened it up. We took the soffits out of the ceilings here so we can use 42-inch cabinets, as you see, and we have it all around, which I'll show you here. The soffits took up so much room. The older house had 36-inch cabinets, so we thought this would be beneficial to add more storage with these. But the one thing that I was going to get into is the open concept, where you take all these out and you put your shelves up. Those look nice, but in the older homes especially, you need storage. And we've got a lot in here. Those open concept kitchens are high maintenance because you always have to wash everything that sits out on there. They collect dust. And yes, they look good and everything, but I just think the open concept's a trend that will go away. And again, full disclaimer, if you have the open concept, I'm sure your kitchen looks great. I don't want to offend you. I'm just telling you what opinions are with people, just so everybody knows their option. And in this kitchen, I just want to show you what we did to it. This is obviously where we were talking about the kitchen sink and everything. And we're adding a huge island right here. We brought this out, and make sure if you're doing an island that you don't make it so tight for everything that it's dangerous. I mean, you got your dishwasher to think of, your oven or range when you open up the door. You got to have space to walk through, and your refrigerator. I mean, this one's tight enough, but there is, believe it or not, a lot of room in here. But back to the layout. On this side, there wasn't any shelving or any cabinets or anything. So we took this wall out and added more cabinets over here. And again, we didn't go with the open concept that I just talked about. And if you want some type of open concept, then do something like this. At least this will keep the dust off, but you're going to have to keep yourself organized because everybody sees these. But this is another option for you if you're wanting some kind of an open concept. And one thing I want to caution you on when you're doing these older homes is when you're doing larger cabinets like this pantry and things like that, really measure your ceilings and know the modifications you're going to have to do. They may have 8-foot ceilings in the older homes, but if you go to different areas, you're going to find it's 7 3/4, 7.5. I mean, nothing's ever square. In fact, sometimes the rooms aren't very square, but they do have good bones at least. But yes, the ceilings tend to be off. So keep that in mind. We've had to make a lot of modifications through the years on these pantries and so forth due to the ceiling. So you can never measure enough to prepare yourself. And the other thing we did to open up this kitchen a little more, I'll walk through it, but we took the doorway. There was just a single entryway right here, and the rest of this was a wall. And so we opened this up, and we took the wall, there was a half wall into the family room, and we opened it up so this is just one big open concept. So this is our concept of the open kitchen. I hope you found this video informational, and if you did, please share it with somebody out there. And also please like and subscribe. I'm a new channel trying to get off the ground. And also my links down below if you have questions on remodeling an old home, buying and selling an old home, or if you need a connection to a real estate professional in your area. I have people throughout the country that I can set you up with. And anyway, also I donate part of my commissions to my rescue dog organizations. And if you're not out here in the Denver area where you can go get a dog that needs a home, I have a link down below. You can always donate and help the dogs out. And anyway, until next time, stay tuned for the video that's coming up next.